Every day is a new day to begin again. The truth is, every hour is a chance to start again, to reframe your thinking, or to muster the courage to take the first step towards something new. And yet, how often do we use the opportunity of a new moment to consider what making a change can do for us and for those around us? As Victoria Moran said, in this moment, there is plenty of time. In this moment, you are precisely as you should be. In this moment, there is infinite possibility. Take these moments to begin again, to reframe your thinking, and to consider how changing your mindset could make all the difference in the week ahead.
Hi, I'm Jason Ramsden, and I believe we can all work on leading a more positive and intentional life. And this show details my journey by sharing my learning, stories, and conversations with guests. If you want to lead a more intentional life focused on being the best you possible, please subscribe today. Now, let's get into today's episode.
Well, hello, my positivity posse, and welcome to another episode of Positivity on Fire. And regardless of where you're tuning in from today, it must be because you're looking to begin again or to start anew. Now, if you're a loyal listener of the show, you know I'm a big believer in every day is a new day to begin again. Every day is a new day to start again, to start anew, to try something different. So if you're tuning in for the very first time, and this is your very first episode of Positivity on Fire, let's get to it. Let's take a look at what it means to start anew, to begin anew. Now, for me, beginning anew is this podcast. Launched it back in December of 2020. It was new for me. It's the way that we're connected now. We never would have been connected prior to this podcast hosting, so I tried something new. This is episode 31. Today is a good day to begin again. So when is a good time to start again, to start anew? It could be any day or actually any hour of your life. You could have this epiphany moment and say, you know what, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to do something different with my life. I'm going to change something about me that I don't like. I'm going to focus on something new because it's time for me to make a change. So what does that look like? What are some things that you can actually do if you're looking to start anew? Now, for those of you just tuning in, my longtime listeners know this. I'm going to come at you with some research, with some articles that I found, and I'm going to add a little bit of a twist on how it applies in my own life, and hopefully it'll mean something to you, have meaning to you, that you can then apply it in your own life. So today's article comes from fastcompany.com, and go figure, it's called The 10 Best Pieces of Advice for Making a Fresh Start. Now, as many of you know, not only in this podcast have I started anew or started something new, but we also moved. We moved about at the end of June, and so that's brand new for me as well. So number one on this list is actually try new things. Go to a new restaurant. Go to a new restaurant of a type of food that you've never had before. Go to a museum. Go see a sporting event that you've never been to. Go for a stroll in a new neighborhood. Take some time to read a new book on a topic that is something that may or may not interest you. And take a risk of big proportions. You never know what may come your way if you try something new. And trying something new is really all about just taking a risk, getting out of your comfort zone a little bit, heading in a new direction and trying something new. Number two on the list, don't be afraid to fail. I've said this in other episodes. Don't be afraid to fail. Be courageous. When you are trying something new, it's okay if it doesn't go well. Let's say you're trying to learn how to roller skate or skateboard, or maybe you've never driven a car before and you want to learn how to drive. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to, when you are trying new things, to fail. It's okay. Failure is not the end result or the end of your actions. No, not at all. Failure is a way to learn. Failure is a way to learn from your mistakes. It's a way to grow. It's a way to become better at what it is that you're trying to accomplish in life or a task that you're trying to get better at. So don't be afraid to fail. Why? Because we're all human. We all make mistakes. There's not a single person on this planet that is perfect who has not failed in something that they've tried. So it doesn't matter if you fail again and again and again, because you'll never know if you're going to be good at something until you try. Number 3 on this list, and I think this is probably one that drives my family crazy because I'll do it. It's talk to strangers. And oddly enough, people only talk to strangers about 2 to 3% of the time. They don't take the opportunity to engage. You have to open yourself up to new opportunities, my friends. So whether that is trying something new or actually, and maybe talking to a stranger is something trying. And perhaps talking to a stranger is something that you're going to try that's new. Maybe you've never done it before, but you got to open yourself up to the opportunities. You have to be able to ask good questions of folks. You need not be afraid to have a conversation with somebody around something that's going on around you, or commenting on perhaps something that they're doing well, or trying to make them smile. And the truth is, you don't have to be an extrovert to do this, right? Introverts can do this as well. It's okay. It's not just extroverts who are out there chatting up strangers. No, introverts can do it. The truth is, no one cares. No one cares because they're focused on themselves, right? If you start to spark a conversation with somebody, nobody's going to care that you're doing that. They actually might enjoy it. So take the time to do it. And when you do, make sure that you listen intently. Make sure that you listen to what the other person has to say, because that could further the conversation. If you're a mindful listener in those moments of talking to strangers, you could learn things you never knew. Now, sometimes you may learn things that you never wanted to know, or you may learn some things that you may want to forget, but I guarantee you most of the time you're going to have a really good interaction with those people, and it's going to further your mindset about trying new things. Number 4, be willing to change. This is a big topic for me, folks. Be willing to change. You can never get further down the road tomorrow by staying where you are today. It's just not going to happen, right? It's just not going to happen. You need to let go of your preconceived notions. You need to let go of the thought that where you are today is good enough. No. We as human beings we absolutely positively need to continue to grow. We need to continue to learn. It's the only way that we will get further in life. Now, if you think you're happy where you are and it's good enough, let me tell you, when you have the courage to try and change something in your life, when you have the courage to try new things, when you are no longer afraid about failing, when you put yourself out there outside of your comfort zone, a whole new world opens up to you. So be willing to change. Number 5 on this list, probably my favorite of all the numbers on this list. Number 5, write a personal mission statement. Now, for me, my personal mission statement is this: kindness matters. Unexpected kindness heals. What do I mean by that? Kindness matters is pretty simple, right? If you're kind to other people, it really matters. But if you think about it for a moment, those people who maybe are having a bad day and don't expect to receive kindness, I believe that unexpected kindness from a stranger, now this is where that whole talk to strangers comes in, unexpected kindness from a stranger can actually heal somebody. It can turn their day around in such a way that they may go on and pay it forward. So again, my personal mission statement, kindness matters and unexpected kindness heals, is kind of how I go about my life. So, companies have mission statements. You can look at any big company and you can look at their mission and their vision and their values, and you should do the same thing. Write one for yourself. Write a personal mission statement, whatever it may be, but think about it, take a moment, pen some ideas down, and it becomes a powerful tool for you, right? A personal mission statement becomes a way for you to focus yourself on a path down the road, right? A path towards success. For me, unexpected kindness is all about trying to make a profound impact on the world. That's it. That's why my mission statement exists. Number 6, don't try to fit in. I've spent a lifetime of trying to fit in, and I still try to do it from time to time. The problem with trying to fit in is because we think that by trying to fit in to a norm or an expectation that'll actually propel us forward in life. And the truth is, it won't. It took me 50 plus years of living on this planet to realize that trying to fit in is not a good thing. Now, that comes from being a military brat. We talked about that in other episodes. I had moved around a lot as a kid, so trying to fit in was key right away because we may only be living in a place for a year or 2 or 3. So trying to fit in became part of who I was as a child and a young adult, and then later in life as an adult. But I'm starting to move away from that now. I'm starting to reconsider what it means to be me. What do I bring to the world? What are my unique talents and gifts? And you should do the same thing. Stop trying to fit in. Take a look at yourself and determine what are the things that I can bring to the world? What are my unique gifts, my unique talents? And let those shine. Don't be afraid to let those shine. Number 7, don't confuse having an opinion with having a thought. Now, to be clear, having a thought is the process of generating an original idea or a distinction about an original idea. Okay. Having a thought requires great energy. It requires attention. It requires you to do some profound, deep thinking. Having a thought. Now, having an opinion requires none of that. Having an opinion is only about whether you like or dislike an idea. I would encourage you to continually work on trying to have a thought, original idea, a thoughtful take on something new. That's power. When you can focus on having a thought rather than an opinion about a particular topic, that is when you find yourself kind of like in this aha moment of life. Number 8 on the list, don't get hung up on perfect. Back in March 20th, episode 13, we did Progress, Not Perfection. So check that out if you're looking for a little bit more detail. But don't get hung up on perfect. Now, I'm all for excelling and being successful in your life. But when you start to become a perfectionist around every single thing that you do, it will hold you back. Being a perfectionist is not about being successful. Being a perfectionist is about being afraid to commit, to get something done, and to move forward. If you're too afraid to put your work out there because you don't think it's perfect enough for whomever it is that you may think has an eye towards giving you a hard time about it, you'll never publish. You'll never put it out there. So don't get hung up on being perfect. Rather, take a look at the things that you think are important and remember that it is more important to make progress than to be perfect in your work. So never let perfect be the enemy of good enough. Number 9 on the list, be selfish. I don't mean be selfish in terms of looking at yourself and saying me with everything, right? Everything should be centered around you. No, what I mean by being selfish is make sure that you create boundaries in your life, right? If you're starting something new, if it's today's a good day to start again, and you have boundaries that are wide open, tighten those, right? Tighten the boundaries in your life. Don't allow other people to intrude on those boundaries. You are the one who is in control of how you want to live your life. So go ahead and set the boundaries. It's healthy. It shows that you're a grounded person. It shows that you're willing to take care of your own needs first, right? I'm not saying that you're self-involved. I'm saying you're self-focused, and that's a big difference, right? It's better to be self-focused than it is to be self-involved. People who are self-focused are happier, they're healthier, they live a better life, they have better relationships. And number 10 on the list, don't worry about the big picture. Celebrate every single milestone. If you constantly wait until that big project is done, as opposed to the tasks that you're completing along the way, you're going to have this sense of kind of overwhelm. If you celebrate every little milestone that you make, every time you cross something off your task list, it shortens the road, right? It shortens the path to success when you can focus on intermediary milestones to get where you need to be. Perfect example. If you are trying to lose weight, let's say you need to lose 40 pounds. Don't set 40 pounds as your goal. Set 10 and celebrate that. Set 10 again and celebrate again. Set 10 again and celebrate again and set 10 again. and celebrate again. And when you hit the 40, really, really celebrate. That's your big goal. But until you chunk stuff down, until you take the time to celebrate the milestones in between, you're going to find yourself starting to fall back on old habits, fall back in a way that won't allow you to achieve success and move forward. So if today is the day that you're trying to begin again, to start anew, just remember this list. Try new things. Don't be afraid to fail. Talk to strangers. Be willing to change. Write a personal mission statement. Don't try to fit in. Don't confuse having an opinion with having a thought. Don't get hung up on perfect. Be selfish. And above all, don't worry about the big picture and celebrate every single milestone. Now, if you're starting a journey and you're looking for some support, send me an email, jason@positivitynfire.com. I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to hear what your challenges are, what you're trying to begin anew at, what your thoughts are around starting something new today. I'm here to support you in any way that I can. So feel free to reach out, because we don't go through life alone. We can't go through life alone. We need somebody to support us. I believe in you. You should believe in yourself. So if you're looking to make a change, go after it. Go get it. I believe that you'll be able to accomplish it. And I'll leave you with this quote from Buddha, who said, "No matter how hard the past is, you can always begin again." That's it for this week's episode, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in to Positivity on Fire. As I say at the end of every episode, your gift of time does mean the world to me. You could be doing anything with your time, but anything with these 20 minutes. And the fact that you're tuning in to listen to me on my personal journey in a way to help you on your personal journey means the world to me. So thank you. And always remember, be well, be happy, be you. And until the next time, may your quest for positivity begin today. For more on my positivity quest, follow me at _JAY Ramsden on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. If you liked today's episode, please give us a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcast app, or visit podchaser.com and search for Positivity on Fire. Positivity on Fire is a production of Impact One Media, LLC. All rights reserved.